What up, y'all? Welcome to another AMA. Oh my God, let's go. Wow, what a few, weeks, man. I had Cookie King down here, the doctors down here, did some really good content with them. Cookie King is literally cooked, bro. Like, he left here and raged out, ordered a bunch of fast food for himself. You guys might have seen that. Whatever. Not going to waste much time on him. We launched the Lychee electrolytes. They're officially live and rocking on Amazon. Peach as well. Peach came out a bit before Lychee. These are just flying lychee taste, on point like lychee. If you don't know what lychee is, or you think you might not like a tropical kind of bold flavor, then don't get it. Peach is a nice, light, refreshing, delicious, sweet undertones. Oh my God, it's so good. So those are the flavors for the summer, but I'm still drinking a lot of lemon, lime, orange, dragon fruit, mango. Kiwi should come back in stock soon, all the classics. Beef tallow update for y'all before I get into your questions. We are putting in these giant new machines into our factory so we can produce more beef tallow products. They simply sell out a lot, so that's simply what it is. We're still making the tallow. We make batches. We send them to Amazon, and they sell out pretty fast. So if you see the beef tallow in stock, the chapstick, the bee and beef balm chapstick, the beeswax honey beef tallow product, or the sun balm right here, which is just beef tallow and non-nano zinc. Great time to get this. It's summer. You're out in the sun. Go get them. We restocked magnesium capsules. We restocked ashwagandha. Super stoked on all that. Some products we're working on. We're working on electrolyte capsules because some people want an unflavored option. So an electrolyte capsule is a good way to do that. That way it'll have pretty much nothing in there but electrolyte. So working on that. Working on a dog treat, which will be super fun, bro. Like grass-fed beef heart, and a tiny bit of grass-fed beef liver. The reason I didn't want to go like a big liver treat is because for small dogs like my little churro, you can't give them tons of liver. You can give them some, but you don't want to overdo it with the liver. So that way we have that heart in there for that CoQ10. We have the beef in there, obviously, for a lot of those B vitamins, carnitine and serine, a lot of the benefits from grass-fed beef. And it's going to be a super affordable dog treat without any weird preservatives, fillers, all that bullshit. But yeah, life's been good, man. Just working a lot, doing the damn thing. We have a meetup coming up July 14th in San Diego at Surf Lounge. So if you're in the San Diego area, or even if you want to drive down from Orange County or LA or whatever, come down. It's July 14th, Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. at Surf Lounge. Anybody can come. I'll be handing out tubs of electrolytes. You can hang out, let's kick it. So come to that. So we've been prepping for that, and just been on the grind. Like typical days, I just work a lot. I'm usually able to squeeze a surf in, some jujitsu, maybe 2 days a week, and then lifting weights most days out of the week, probably 4 or 5 days out of the week hard. And I'm like back and forth a lot still from like the Bay Area and San Diego, but it's pretty easy to, get back and forth from there. Anybody watching this in California knows. Diet-wise, still been doing what I'm doing. There were some days where I was like moving some stuff down here that I did have to like order DoorDash. What I do personally is I'll get like the sweet green salad. They don't use seed oils. I can get like a steak salad, add some chicken in there, just load it up with nutrients. I got a kava bowl. We did do a video on kava. They're basically scamming you guys. It's kind of a bummer. Not that I'm like hating on them so much or anything like that. Like, I got the kava bowl. It was delicious. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I've like promoted their bowls in a way before, but they say they use olive oil, and on their website they're like, we use olive oil. We have a Greek olive oil farm. They have like the farmer's name in there. My videographer and I were laughing looking at their website because when we actually went into Kava, we asked them, let me see that olive oil that you guys use, and they showed it to us. It's a blend. It's sunflower oil, olive oil blend. So there's seed oils in there. Again, I'm not so panicked about this. Everyone thinks I'm some seed oil panic. I ate the bowl. It's all good. You don't want to overload your body and eat seed oils every day, in my opinion, but it's not the end of the world to eat some sunflower oil. But just the fact that they're kind of scamming, saying, we use olive oil. No, you use a blend, bro. Okay? So, like, be real. But I ate some of that. And, in the mornings, just hydrating with electrolytes, doing some bone broth, and then doing a little bit of cold brew and the grass-fed milk in there. And then, like, I'll have eggs or a protein shake. Then I kind of just, like, get, like, so wrapped up in work that sometimes I miss lunch, which isn't great for me to miss lunch. Sometimes I'll, like, just, like, eat some, like, beef jerky or something like that. But then for dinner, I'm doing, like, grass-fed beef, sweet potatoes, rice, veggies, yogurt bowls, big yogurt bowls for dessert with, like, protein powder in there, frozen blueberries, strawberries, all that type of stuff. So That's what I've been doing diet-wise. Supplement-wise, been doing everything. N-acetylcysteine is a supplement you guys should really learn about. We don't sell N-acetylcysteine, but again, for the 100th time, I'm not just trying to promote what I sell. We sell some great stuff, but we talked to these functional medicine doctors in here about N-acetylcysteine, and it was amazing just to read some of the papers on it. I'm taking 900 milligrams a day of N-acetylcysteine now. One for liver health, it's going to help bump up that glutathione, that master antioxidant. It's one of the things that those doctors will give to people when they see under eye bags, because N-acetylcysteine can help with those. It helps your detoxification pathways, tons of stuff. It's often marketed for respiratory health, but it can help. It can raise testosterone. Dr. Justin was talking about some of the mechanisms of action of N-acetylcysteine raising testosterone. Pretty cool stuff. So I've added that into my routine. We're also working on a digestive enzyme supplement because I've been taking digestive enzymes for a little while now. We talked about how as you age, your digestive enzyme function, your enzymes, basically the secretion goes down. Also, when you're stressed, or if you're somebody who's just, got a lack of sleep or drank alcohol, your enzyme secretion can go down. And taking digestive enzymes can bump that back up. So we have a digestive enzyme formula that we're working on perfecting right now. Getting some advice from some of these functional medicine doctors on which digestive enzymes will be optimal. But you can go look into digestive enzymes yourself. Just start reading about them and start taking them maybe before a big meal. Just try that. And so that's what's been rocking. Let's dive into your questions. Let's get it going. What do you guys have? You've left your questions below. I'm about to answer them. Let's rock. Brendan, when you eventually raise kids, how are you going to raise them to not be addicted to iPads and processed foods and just a lot of these issues that you see with these iPad kids, bro? Like, they're screaming, they got the iPad, they want their big gulp, they want their Happy Meal, they're freaking out. Totally. One, I think it's really stupid for people to say, oh, well, you have to give your kids access to fast food and stuff like that. The ingredients in fast food have changed so much over the last 30, 40 years that I personally think it's totally fine to say I want my kid to avoid that. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to have my kid avoid cookies and ice cream and treats. I'm not going to have them eat like me. That's not fair. I think you need to come to this conclusion of what you want to eat. And if you want to live a really locked-in lifestyle like I do, and it's a bit different, which is crazy because it's just healthy, but eating only real food is different in today's society. But I'm not going to ostracize my kid from those experiences. What I will try to do is manage it at home, where if they want ice cream or a cookie or a treat, they will have to understand that they have to eat real food and get tasks done that I need them to, get done, whether that's going to soccer practice, whether that's doing their homework, whether that's listening to their mom, stuff like that. And if they want to use that stuff as a reward, they will get real food. There's high quality gelato places out there for a scoop of gelato for like $4. Austin the Marine went and got one, and it's high quality ingredients. Is there sugar in there? Yes. Is it something I would eat? No. But it is definitely not the same as what's in a McFlurry, which in my opinion can have vast gut damaging and brain damaging effects if you eat that stuff too much. So I think there's like a line that you have to figure out, and it's not like, oh, they have to live some crazy lifestyle, but they're definitely going to have to try a lot of foods, and they're going to have to eat their meals. I think we've gotten so disconnected from like instilling discipline in children that we just think that they should just be able to act however the hell they want. I have friends who have kids. I'm not speaking out of school here. You can discipline your child and be firm with them in the proper way. I'm not talking about hitting them, nothing like that. They have to be able to trust you, number one, and they have to be able to respect you, number two. So that's what I'm going to do with my kids. I think a lot of people in today's society might say that I would be hard on them. But man, let me tell you a little story real quick. So I went to middle school and high school with Jock Peterson. From 6th grade, Jock Peterson's dad would roll up to our middle school, and he would have Jock go hit baseballs, okay? And this happened throughout high school, middle school. I would be in geology class in high school with Jock. His dad would pull him out, have him go to the batting cages, okay? And sometimes, bro, I remember seeing Jock kind of be like, oh my God, bro. Maybe he's talking to a girl in the class, whatever it was. And he's just like, oh my God, dude, my dad's really here. He's making me go hit. Like, he would kind of, whatever. But his dad had that discipline. It wasn't really an option. It was like, you're going to go hit right now, okay? Jock Peterson became an amazing baseball player. Has played in the MLB for a long time. Has made millions and millions of dollars, okay? Discipline is a virtue, and discipline is not bad. So, little lesson right there. It's okay to be disciplined. Brendan, is it okay to skip lunch at high school if I have two high quality meals? Yes, the answer is yes, 100%. If you're waking up and you're able to control your breakfast and you're able to eat a good amount of calories and you go to school and the only option there for you at lunch is just bullshit and it's just difficult for you to get a good option, fasting until after school is totally fine. Now, I would eat after school, whether that's like 3 p.m. for you or whatever it is. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Now, there are some options. You could bring like a piece of fruit with you to snack on. You could bring some water with some electrolytes in there, something like that. So you're just like dialed in while you're at school, but not eating from, let's say, 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. whenever you're, having that breakfast to 3 p.m. It's totally fine. I wouldn't wait too long, especially if you're growing and you're, maybe a bit underweight or on weight. If you're overweight, this is an amazing strategy, and you could probably even wait till 5 or 6 p.m. to eat. This idea of intermittent fasting has been talked about so much, but from an anthropological point of view, we are totally adaptable to different eating schedules. As Homo sapiens, we would have gone through times where we cannot eat 3 times a day. Like, what are we talking about? This isn't necessarily normal. Now, I do eat 3 meals a day. I like eating food, we're able to manage it nowadays, but our bodies are completely able to not eat for extended periods of time. That said, I'm not a fan of long fasts where people go days without eating. Not a fan of that. Stress hormone response. You start to see cortisol go up in a lot of people. Hormone dysregulation, not a fan. However, yeah, you can totally skip lunch, bro. Brendan, what are your thoughts on Shilajit? Shilajit's really popular nowadays. It's a supplement. It's like this dense substance, usually sourced from the Himalayas, and it's gone really viral lately because people are saying that it fixes everything and, it does a lot. So there is some research on Shilajit. There's some studies showing that it can increase testosterone production. Now, here's my thing. Sea moss, Shilajit, a lot of these supplements are just really minerally dense substances, okay? So you're getting some minerals into your body. And what this can do is help with a variety of aspects of human health. I do think it's good to have a supplement in your routine that's really minerally dense. For me, that is beef liver, beef organs like I get through Food of the Gods. My electrolytes have good sodium and potassium levels in there. My magnesium supplement has magnesium. You are going to see a benefit in your body if you start to get more beneficial vitamins and minerals into your system. You're going to see testosterone go up. There's tons of studies on zinc, so you can do this a variety of ways. You can do this just with food. You don't need any of these supplements. You could do egg yolks. Egg yolks are so minerally dense, so rich in vitamins. And I think that's where those studies are going to draw that conclusion that it is increasing testosterone in the volunteers that used it. If we have one group that's eating this, but they're taking a substance that's really dense in minerals, well, they're probably going to find some benefit there. So it's an interesting supplement. I often see it over-marketed is what I would say. I often see it way too expensive. It shouldn't be that expensive of a supplement. I'm not against it in any way. But you probably want to go for beef liver or beef organs complex to get those minerals, in my opinion. Let me know what you think below if you've tried Shilajit. Brendan, what brands would you recommend for like dishwashing soap, just soap in general, laundry detergent, all this? Okay, I'll break it down for you right now. First of all, this is a real issue. We see a study on gut epithelial function, basically your gut barrier, and how detergents can damage that. There's some substances in these detergents, dishwashing detergent in particular, and you don't really get all of it off when you wash your dishes. There's little micro amounts. And we can see on like a big scale if you accidentally swallowed some of these things, it says to contact poison control, right? Well, what happens over time if you're ingesting a very, very small amount? It's not good in my opinion. So here's what I do. If your dishes are not that dirty, and this is going to be controversial, if your dishes aren't that dirty, really hot water and baking soda can get a lot of the job done, okay? Same thing with clothes. You can do really hot water with some white vinegar and know your clothes won't smell like vinegar. You do an extra rinse cycle on that. They're not going to smell like vinegar. You've seen Saladino do his videos on this and people go, I don't want my clothes smelling like vinegar. It doesn't. So if your clothes aren't really dirty, it's just like a normal shirt. Like I'm wearing this shirt right now. I'm not going to go work out in it probably. SantaCruzMerch.com cotton shirts, by the way, $17, pretty good deal. But if I just threw a load of laundry with stuff like this in, with a little bit of vinegar in that laundry machine and hot water with a double rinse, totally fine. It's going to be clean. Now, when things get dirtier, the dishes get dirty, you're cooking some meat on them, there's that fat. I use 7th generation dish soap. Okay, it has pretty good scores with EWG, and I make sure in my dishwasher to run that extra rinse cycle because I'm trying to get all of that soap off. So they make dish soap and they make like actual dishwasher detergent, okay? 7th generation, pretty good brand. Same thing with the laundry. 7th generation makes a laundry detergent. I get the unscented one. There's no need for me to add fragrance to my clothes. I think that's dumb. And when we look at artificial fragrances, they can have issues with them. So that is what I do. As far as like a hand soap and daily driver soap, you can use Dr. Bronner's. It's available everywhere. If you want to get more bougie with it, Organic Jaguar has some good soaps out there, like a tallow soap. You can look into that. But for the most part, I'm using vinegar, baking soda, hot water, and then 7th generation unscented is the brand I go for. But let me know below, what do you use? Brendan, does it really matter what time you go to bed as long as you get 8 hours of sleep? Yes, it does. There is research on this showing that basically after the sun sets, you want to get to bed in the next couple hours, if I want to be vague about it. The next couple hours after the sun sets, ideally you want to get to bed. And then you want to wake up, sunrise is ideal, sunset to sunrise is ideal in most places, but maybe a little bit after the sun comes up is when you want to get up. There are studies showing benefits of doing that, okay? Now, I don't always do that, okay? Lately, I'm working so much that like I am often up at like 11, you'll sometimes see me post like 11:30 at night, and then I get to bed, I get my 8 hours, and I'm up a little later than I would like because I do want to get that sleep. I do think the amount of sleep that you get is very critical. So if you're somebody that has to be up late or you just notice, damn, it's midnight and I am, still up, make sure to sleep in a little bit. Sleep in, get that 8 hours, wake up at 8 a.m. if you can. Now, the ideal sleep schedule, in my opinion, is probably going to be going to sleep between 9 and 11 p.m. for most people and waking up around, 5 to 7 a.m. That's going to be a pretty good sleep schedule for most people. Adjust to yourself. For me, when I'm in my good routine and I'm being good, I'm asleep by 11 and I'm up around 6:30 or 7 a.m. and I take my time with my morning routine and then I'm rocking. That's ideal for me, but you're going to have to adapt it to your lifestyle. But yes, you can't just go to sleep at, 3 p.m. and wake up at like midnight like Cookie King does and expect good results. That's going to throw off your natural circadian rhythm. Your body has a natural function that it likes to do. We talked about that with Dr. Justin, and you really can't beat that. I'm sorry. It's hundreds of thousands of years of programming and evolution. Don't try to outrun that shit. Brendan, I do manual labor for a living, and so I'm like moving a bunch of shit at work, and it's basically burning this guy out. So he's going to the gym still, but he just feels burnt out. Listen, I actually know exactly what you're feeling. When I was in college, I worked in this like lab basically, and I had to do some like manual labor, just like moving a bunch of shit around. It was like all day, bro. Like it was a lot. And then at the time, I was seeing corrective exercise clients and meeting people about their nutrition. And so by the time I would get to the gym, I just like worked like tons, like a regular shift. And then I saw a few clients. So it was a few more hours of work. And then I was going to the gym in Santa Cruz, and I was like, there's just no way that you're going to be able to work out the same as like me now. Like fitness is part of my job. So going to the gym, I have time there. I have hours to dedicate to that. I can have a training schedule, all that. So here is what you need to do. One, you need to be so dialed in with your nutrition, hydration, all that, like get that. But I'm not going to go into that in this post. What I'm going to go into, or in this topic, what I'm going to go into is actual training stuff. You are going to find more benefit from picking one or two body parts, probably just one body part, bro, and ripping 3 exercises on it, taking good rest time in between, and then having different days, maybe 2 days a week where you do cardio hard, okay? So you're going to get to the gym, you're going to do a little warm-up. I don't want you to go crazy even with the warm-up. I want you to just do like, 5, 6, 7 minutes on the treadmill, just get your body warm, do some stretches, whatever you need to do. And I want you to simplify your workouts. So when I'm really stressed and busy, I will do this protocol, and it really works. Instead of going to the gym and doing something where I'm going to be like, I'm going to do chest and triceps today. And I'm going to do basically 4 exercises for chest, and I'm going to do 3 for triceps. And then I'm going to do some functional movement. And then I'm going to do abs, and it's going to burn you out. It's too much. You are better off going in there and going, today I'm going to do chest. I'm going to do incline press and flat bench and maybe some type of converging movement. I'm going to do 1 warm-up set per exercise just to feel everything out, get everything grooved up, and then I'm going to rip 2 sets, okay? 6 to 12 reps, and you're just like, those last reps, you're dying, okay? That is going to be a better protocol, and you will find you put on muscle more. It's really counterintuitive. It almost doesn't feel like you're doing enough because you're not exhausting yourself. But if you're walking into the gym and you're already kind of just like depleted, you're going to be better off focusing harder on less exercises. Let me know how that works. Brendan, I have insomnia sleeping. I'm doing all the right things. I'm hitting the sauna, turning off my phone, but I still just lay and toss and turn. What can I do? Okay, well, we're going to give you a 3-pronged approach that can help you. Number one, I want you to try meditation. So you're going to try a 10-minute meditation. I posted the one I do. It's on the Philosophy YouTube page. If you Google yoga relaxation pose, it'll pop up. That's one I do. You want to do that in the complete dark, just with headphones in. I want you to do that. Start to really just ramp everything down. But that might not be enough for you to fix it. I want you to experiment around with taking lemon balm, valerian, and L-theanine, and possibly something called GABA, G-A-B-A. You're going to take these. I've talked about them in a recent post about some calming herbs and their dosages, but you're going to take those, okay? They're in our deep sleep caps, but if you want to just buy them individually, go for it. GABA is not in the deep sleep caps. So you're going to take that stuff an hour to an hour and 15 minutes before you want to go to sleep, combined with the meditation. That will help a lot. If that doesn't work, magnesium too. You need to take magnesium in the evening too, but you should already be doing that. If that doesn't help, you might have what is called high cortisol in the evening, and you can get this diagnosed through something called a Dutch test. If you look up Dutch hormone test, it's going to get your cortisol rhythm throughout the day. And if you have high cortisol in the evening, there's some stuff that can help. You can try ashwagandha in the evening. But for people that are experiencing this, you're not going to be able to fall asleep. This can be from a million things, bro. I've had that before just when I'm stressed in my life, like high cortisol in the evening. It happens, and it's really hard to fall asleep. Everybody understands this. Oh, my mind was racing this night. A lot of stuff was going on. Your cortisol's higher. Your body isn't going to be able to just shut down and just turn everything off when you have high cortisol. So I would try those supplements for sure, as those can help lower cortisol and put you into that state. Meditation with breathing, like I have detailed, can help with that. Try that. And if not, I would get that Dutch test and work with a functional medicine practitioner on some deeper stuff going on. Brendan, thoughts on guayaki yerba mate? Yerba mate is very popular. It's a tea traditionally from the Amazon and South America. They've used it for a long time there. I love it, but the problem is with most people, they'll be like, I had a dude come up to me a couple days ago and was like, oh, is this yerba mate good for me? I'm like, let me see. There was like 40 grams of sugar in there. So what are you doing? Are you drinking yerba mate or are you drinking sugar? Because I think you know the answer to, hey, if I chug processed sugar every day, is that good for me? No, it's not. Is drinking a tea from the Amazon good? Yes. Now, there are some stimulating effects of yerba mate. I would treat it much like I would caffeine, a traditional caffeinated beverage, where I would only have it in the beginning of the day. But overall, I'm a big fan of yerba mate. Check the label, bro. If it has sugar, don't just buy the unsweetened one, bro. Put a little honey in there if you want, but don't be guzzling 40 grams of cane sugar thinking that's healthy. Brendan, how do you fix anterior pelvic tilt? So anterior pelvic tilt is basically where your pelvis is a little bit rotated backwards, okay? And there's a couple things you can do to help this that I've found. One is called the couch stretch. I just sat down with Stretch Effect. They work with Olympians. They work with, amazing athletes. And one of the things he likes for many people is the couch stretch. You can look up the stretch. It's a hip opener stretch. You can do it on a couch, on a bench, because you want to start to open up those hip flexors right there and strengthen them. And the other big piece, bro, is basically you need to strengthen your glutes. When you think about the pelvis rotating backwards, you need to start to strengthen those glute muscles. I'm a big fan of like barbell hip thrusts. I know they look funny when you do them at the gym. Only girls do them, but they build your glutes, okay? They work really well. Now they have those machines where you can kind of put the seatbelt around. Do those. Throw those into your routine for real. And don't just be like doing them with bad form. You want to properly do them where you're going up, you're squeezing your glutes. That's absolutely amazing for that anterior pelvic tilt. The other thing you want to do is start to be able to segment your spine. If you look up FRC low back segmentation on YouTube, you'll see that there's exercises where you can actually basically feel all the segments in your spine, get more proprioception there, and learn where your kind of blocks are. And it's basically doing that cat-cow movement very slowly, being able to segment each block of the spine. There's another exercise where you can lie on your back and put a yoga block in between your knees. And so your legs are up like this, you're lying on your back, and you're going to imagine $100 bills are on your low back against the ground. And you, boom, you fill up that space with your low back. So those are some amazing things for anterior pelvic tilt right there. You just have to hammer those exercises, bro, and pay attention to it. Brennan, which supplements of yours need to be taken with a meal and what don't? This is a very interesting question. So with a lot of people, when they take B vitamins without food or vitamin D without food, they can get that sort of nausea feeling, okay? So this is, when you smell vitamins and you get that vitamin smell, those are actually B vitamins that you're smelling. You don't want to take B vitamins without food. Our supplements don't have those. So magnesium you can take without food. Ashwagandha you can take without food. Electrolytes you can obviously take without food. Food of the gods you can take without food, because our food of the gods is basically like a functional food supplement. There's beef organs in there. There's polyphenol-rich elderberry fruit. There's colostrum. There's N-acetylglucosamine. So we don't really make any supplements that you could never take without food. Vitamin D is fat soluble, so I would recommend that you take that with a meal. But typically when people get that nausea feeling, it's with B vitamins. So if you're taking a hopefully methylated form of B vitamins, if you are going to take B vitamins, you should get the methylated forms, by the way, you would want to take those with food. Vitamin A, for example, is something that you probably want to take with food as well. That's why a lot of people, they say, oh, I have to take my multivitamin with food or else I get nausea. B vitamins in there will do that to you. So take those with food. But with our stuff, a lot of it's just food-based. So you can just take them with just water if you want. Brennan, I have hereditary high cholesterol and my doctor says I'm at risk of heart disease. I try to eat a whole foods-based diet, but should I lower the amount of red meat and saturated fat? The answer, honestly, is probably yes. You probably should lower that. Cholesterol is not some like fake thing. It's not like, oh, cholesterol doesn't relate to heart disease at all. However, this idea that, oh, you just want to get cholesterol as low as possible, and to do that, you should use seed oils because seed oils lower cholesterol. And you should never eat meat, and you should eat plant-based meats because that lowers cholesterol. I think we've just done this really dumb thing where we're making this trade-off, and there's other consequences of doing that are worse. So if you have cholesterol issues, you definitely want to make sure to lower the amount of saturated fat in your diet. These lean cuts of meat, like lean chicken and even lean cuts of beef, and for many people, it's not going to move the needle that much with your cholesterol. So if you eat that sometimes, you're still going to be able to get some of the nutrition there. You want to eat foods like leafy greens, potatoes, fruits for sure are going to help lower your cholesterol as well. So yeah, if you have some unique genetic issues with that, you probably shouldn't do as much of the fatty red meat as somebody like myself does. But overall, if you're watching this and you don't have any, unique genetic issues with that, I wouldn't worry about the saturated fat and cholesterol in red meat, eggs, even some butter and stuff like that. We've been eating these foods forever. The research on cholesterol is not that simple. It is not as simple as you get high cholesterol, you get heart disease. There are people who go their whole lives with having high cholesterol and never get heart disease. There are people with low cholesterol that get heart disease. Does the overall trend look like when you have high cholesterol, you're at a greater risk of heart disease? For sure. However, most people in these studies are unhealthy overall. So what happens when we have somebody who is in great shape, great cardiovascular shape? They do not carry a bunch of belly fat. They are not obese. They avoid processed foods and high sugar foods, but they do eat a fair amount of red meat. There hasn't been a study like that, but I think it would show that these people are not dropping dead of heart disease. And what also leads me to believe the same thing is because of my background in anthropology, studying these tribes. They were not dropping dead of heart disease. They did not have perfect health. They had other issues for sure. They could get a cut and it could get infected. They could die. But overall, the Maasai warriors who are eating meat and dairy, they're not dropping dead of heart disease. The Eskimos that were eating blubber, they were not dropping dead of heart disease left and right, okay? I'm not saying it didn't exist, but we need to learn a little bit from an ancestral diet. The diet that Homo sapiens have eaten for a long time has included meat, fish, and eggs. It's been extremely prized. Animal fats as well. So I don't think we really truly know. I think it's a fair thing to say, but I'm definitely not going to eliminate nutrient-dense foods to lower my cholesterol as much as I can. Brennan, what bone broth do you use? So, bro, honestly, dude, I've been wasting a lot of money getting this butcher's broth, bone broth, because it only has bone broth and carrots are the only ingredients. And I try to get one that doesn't have onions and garlic in it because I like to give some to churro sometimes, and dogs can't have onions and garlic. So, bro, it's like $8 like a little thing. And it's so stupid because If I make my own bone broth, which I've done for videos before, it's so much more affordable. It's insane. Like the bones are like, like $18 or something. And then like the other ingredients are just a few bucks. It's just like some veggies, some spices, some water, some vinegar. And you boil that. Dude, it gets me so much bone broth. So I need to do that more. Thanks for checking me on that. But yeah, butcher's bone broth if I'm just buying it at the store. Brendan, I'm having a hard time eating in the morning. What can I do to fix that? So if you're experiencing morning nausea, for example, you can mess around with taking digestive enzymes. For a lot of people, their enzyme secretion's messed up. So get a good digestive enzyme. Take that in the morning about 5 to 10 minutes before you eat, and that can help. The other thing that can help for many people is, guess what? Breakfast isn't for everybody. Many people just have a natural thing where they don't like eating a big meal in the morning. That is fine. In many cultures across the world, they just don't eat breakfast. That is totally fine. Many days I'll wake up and I'll just have electrolytes and water in the morning. Boom. And then I'll have some bone broth. And then I'll have maybe some cold brew with some, raw whole milk or something, probably around 9 a.m. Then I don't eat till about noon. Totally fine. So it's not the end of the world if you, don't eat first thing in the morning. And then again, for many people, a protein shake can be sort of the fix to this. And if you have just berries and milk and some whey protein in a blender, it tastes absolutely amazing. And it's something they can sort of sip on so they can eat it slower. So yeah, try those things and let me know how it works. Brendan, does using a hot tub 1 to 2 hours before bed help with sleep at all? What's the deal? Okay, I'm going to break this down to you guys. What is the best? Hot tub, steam, or sauna? We're going to break it down right now. Here's the deal. Sauna is better for you than hot tub or steam. We'll just eliminate steam right here. Steam, your body doesn't get as hot, okay? Because if the steam room were to get as hot as the sauna, it would burn you. 2, in the steam room, you're getting chlorine because our water system is chlorinated in the United States. So you're inhaling chlorine. Not the end of the world. I won't never get into a steam room, but it's not as good as the sauna. Okay, now we have hot tub. Hot tubs are great for you. Don't get me wrong. The humidity obviously is at 100% because you're in water. Again, you're dealing with some of those chlorine issues that I'm not a huge fan of, especially daily. If you're talking about doing it pretty much every night before bed, that's going to be a good amount of chlorine. You'd be better off doing a bath than a hot tub. There's other chemicals in there as well. And then again, your body doesn't get as hot, okay? So the actual surface of your skin is not as hot. Sauna wins, okay? Especially when you get a traditional sauna where you can pour the water on the rocks, so then you can get some of those benefits of that humidity and you just get a crazy sweat going. Heat before bed, though, absolutely can help sleep. Anecdotally, I like to sauna in the evening, and then I do a cold shower, do my nighttime routine, and when I don't do that, I definitely notice my sleep is better when I sauna versus when I don't. But let me know below what you guys think about that if you've experienced that. Brendan, are seed oils bad when they're in like skincare products or soap or something like that? What do you think about that? I'm not really too concerned about that. I think the issues with seed oils is overconsumption of these processed seed oils, especially when they're reused in restaurants, like fried like over and over again. You get these oxidized seed oils, you get these compounds that like Dr. Tetsumori Yamashima is concerned about some of these compounds from these seed oils causing Alzheimer's, stuff like that. You're not really going to have those issues in like a cosmetics product. You're not eating it. I'm not even against when people are like, oh, I take black seed oil as a supplement. Oh, is this bad? No, I don't think that's bad. I don't think having a tiny little bit of seed oils is the end of the world. So as far as they go in cosmetics products, like we always roast Burt's Bees for having soybean oil and 3 types of seed oils in there. And with that, it's just sort of like, it definitely feels like a cheaper product when they're just using soybean oil and stuff like that. Those are heavily processed. I'm not a fan of them really in a lot of, skincare products out there, but it's definitely not something that would cause me to, think that it's going to like damage my body suddenly. You're not going to ingest a bunch of seed oils from the Burt's Bees thing. Is it kind of cheap that Clorox bought Burt's Bees and puts in 3 types of seed oils? Yes. Do I want seed oils in my chapstick? No. Do I think it's the end of the world if you use that? No. So I wouldn't worry about them too much in skincare products, but especially some of these real industrial seed oils like corn oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil. I would just be a little skeptical about brands that are using those. Are they kind of ripping you off because those are so cheap and just heavily processed? Be aware of that. Brendan, is the Sun Balm product only for your face or can it be applied to your entire body? So I love this stuff. 2 ingredients, grass-fed beef tallow, non-nano zinc oxide. I put some on when I go surf, and dude, like the UV index here is so high. And I put some of this on like the last couple days, and like I should be burnt to a crisp right now. I might have a little bit of redness, but like, dude, I would be like fried if I didn't have this. So yeah, you can put it anywhere on your body. Like I put a bunch on the back of my neck earlier. I put a bunch on my arms, bro. Like my arms would be cooked right now, dude. So yeah, you can put it anywhere on your body, and it's 2 ingredients. It's the best priced beef tallow non-nano zinc product out there. Comes in glass. It's just amazing. So, and it's travel friendly because it's 2 ounce. You can take 3.4 ounces of beef tallow when you travel. So great product for those surf trips, for those mountain biking days, all that. All right, guys, that is it for this week's AMA. Super stoked. Come out to the meetup if you can. And we're going to work on this YouTube show called Locked In, where I'm going to be flying out some of your favorite influencers, streamers, stuff like that. And I'm going to put them through some hard workouts. They're going to learn to make healthy food. We're going to get their supplements dialed in. We're just going to dial in their health, because there's a lot of these people out there that are either trying to get healthy or they're just completely lost. And I think I can help them get locked in. This is inspired by me trying to help Cookie King, and he just couldn't, so let me know which streamers you'd like to see me get out here and tag them below, all that. And you yourself, bro, lock in. It's summer. Get jacked, get abs, get tan, lift weights, eat steak, drink electrolytes, eat good food, crush it. You got this. Leave your questions below for next week. I love y'all. Peace.